Lions news fan reporting a move that has sent shockwaves through the NFL world. The Detroit Lions have made an ambitious trade that could shape the future of the franchise for years to come. The team is going all-in by acquiring Myles Garret, one of the league's most dominant pass rushers, but this trade comes at a significant cost. The Lions have given up substantial draft picks, including 2 first- and third-round selections in the next 2 years, as well as defensive tackle Broderick Martin. In return, they received Garret, along with a 5th-round pick this year and a 2nd-round pick next year. Additionally, Detroit has committed to a 4-year contract worth $144.5 million for Garret, a financial commitment that could have long-term implications for the team's salary cap. But the big question is, can this trade truly change the fortunes of the Lions, and can Garret be the missing piece the team has been searching for to propel them to success? Looking at the trade from the perspective of the draft, the Lions are sacrificing a significant amount of future potential. The first-round picks are arguably the most valuable commodities in the NFL. These picks give teams the chance to bring in elite talent, players who can contribute right away or develop into future cornerstones for the team. By parting with these picks, Detroit is essentially trading away potential superstars who could be pivotal in the years to come. But the Lions are betting on immediate results, and that's where Myles Garret comes in. Garret isn't just a pass rusher, he's a game changer, someone who can shift the balance of power on the field with his ability to disrupt quarterbacks and create havoc in the backfield. The stakes are high for the Lions. The trade shows that the team is ready to take a leap forward. They've been building up their roster in recent years, focusing on young talent and laying the groundwork for future success. But this trade is different. Detroit isn't just looking for incremental improvement, they are going for a championship-caliber defense right now. Garret has been one of the top pass rushers in the league for years, and his ability to pressure quarterbacks and disrupt offensive plays could elevate Detroit's defense to a level it has never reached before. The team has struggled to put together a consistent and dominant defense in the past, but with Garret on the roster, they now have a legitimate superstar who can set the tone on that side of the ball. However, the trade comes with risks, especially considering the financial commitment to Garret. With a 4-year $144.5 million contract on the table, the Lions are making a significant investment that will impact their salary cap for years to come. This is not just a one-time acquisition. It's a long-term commitment that will shape the future of the team. Detroit currently has $45 million in cap space, which is ample room to work with in the short term. But managing Garret's contract while also retaining other key players in the future will require careful financial planning. The Lions will need to navigate the ever-changing landscape of the salary cap, making sure they can still bring in the talent they need without hampering their financial flexibility. But it's not just the financial implications that make this trade noteworthy, it's also the fact that the Lions are banking on Garret to be the player who can turn their defense into a top-tier unit. The NFC is home to some of the most potent offenses in the league, and if Detroit wants to compete for a playoff spot, they need a defense that can stand up to the likes of the Green Bay Packers, Minnesota Vikings, and Chicago Bears. Garret is exactly the type of player who can lead that charge. He's an elite pass rusher with the ability to affect every play, and his presence on the field will make life significantly more difficult for opposing quarterbacks. The trade is also a reflection of the Lions' mentality under current management. This is a team that has been rebuilding for a while, but it's clear that the front office feels the time is now to take a swing at the top. By acquiring a player of Garret's caliber, Detroit is signaling that they're not just looking to build for the future, they're trying to win now. The Lions' defense has been one of the team's weakest links in recent years, but with Garret's arrival, they have the potential to make a drastic turnaround. The question, of course, is whether Garret can perform at the level the Lions expect. He has the talent, but he'll need to deliver on the field to justify the hefty price tag. Analyst Valenti has weighed in on the trade, noting that while the price may seem steep, he would pull the trigger on the deal without hesitation. According to Valenti, the Lions are getting a player who can make an immediate impact, something that will have a lasting effect on the defense. While the trade does involve the loss of valuable draft picks, he believes Garret's presence on the team could be the catalyst for a defense that is capable of competing with the best teams in the league. The addition of Garret, combined with other defensive acquisitions, such as Zadarius Smith, could give Detroit one of the most feared defensive lines in the NFL. But it's not just about Garret's pass rushing abilities, it's also about what he brings to the locker room. As a leader, Garret can set the tone for the entire defense and bring an intensity that could help elevate the play of his teammates. The financial implications of the trade will likely be felt for years to come. But the Lions front office is no stranger to making bold moves. This trade shows that they are willing to invest in talent that can make an immediate impact. The team's current salary cap situation is favorable, but the real challenge will be managing the cap in future years. Detroit will need to make smart decisions about which players to retain and how. to balance their financial commitments in order to maintain the competitiveness of the roster. In the coming years, the Lions will need to continue building the roster around Garret and making adjustments to ensure that they remain a contender in the NFC. Looking at the bigger picture, the trade represents a shift. In Detroit's mindset, for years, the Lions have been seen as a rebuilding team, one that is slowly but steadily working toward contention. But with the acquisition of Garret, they are showing that they are ready to take the next step. The defense is now a strength, and with an offense that has shown promise in recent seasons, the Lions are poised to compete with some of the top teams in the league. If Garret lives up to his potential, this trade could be the spark that takes Detroit from a middle-of-the-pack team to a legitimate playoff contender. If the trade doesn't work out, it could be a costly misstep that sets the franchise back. But the Lions have shown that they're willing to take the risk in order to make a big leap forward. What makes this trade even more intriguing is the long-term potential it brings for Detroit. While the initial focus is on Garrett's immediate impact, it's important to recognize how this move could set the stage for future acquisitions and roster decisions. With Garret now part of the defense, the Lions are positioned to attract more high-profile free agents who may want to join a team with a legitimate chance at playoff contention. Detroit's ability to manage its cap space while maintaining a competitive roster will be a key factor in determining whether they can sustain this success over time. The acquisition of Garret could also serve as a signal to other teams that Detroit is serious about competing, which may open doors for future trades and acquisitions. In addition, Garrett's arrival could have a ripple effect on the team's overall mentality. It's not just about the players on the field, it's about the culture the Lions are building. With a player like Garret in the locker room, Detroit's young defenders will have an opportunity to learn from one of the best in the business. This can elevate the entire defense, both in terms of individual performance and team cohesion. Garrett's leadership could inspire the team to play at a higher level and motivate other players to elevate their game. If the Lions are able to create a culture of excellence on defense, it could pay dividends for years to come. The excitement surrounding this trade is palpable, but it's important to keep in mind the challenges that lie ahead for the Lions. While Garret brings undeniable talent, he won't be able to carry the team alone. The Lions will need to continue building around him, both on the defensive line and across the entire team. The offense will need to step up and support the defense, especially in high-stakes games. Detroit is no longer in a rebuilding phase. They are now in a win-now mentality. The future of the franchise rests on the ability of the front office and coaching staff to put together a balanced, competitive roster that can take full advantage of Garrett's presence. As the new season approaches, all eyes will be on Detroit. The pressure is on the Lions to make this trade pay off, but the potential rewards are enormous. If Garret delivers as expected, the Lions could be one of the most formidable defenses in the league. If not, this could be another example of a high-risk, high-reward move that didn't pay off. But no matter what happens, the trade is a sign that the Lions are no longer satisfied with simply being a team in the middle of the pack. They are aiming for greatness. If you enjoyed this video and want more content like this, follow our channel, Lions News Fan Report, to stay up to date on everything happening in the world of the NFL and the Detroit Lions. Don't miss the upcoming analysis and updates on the season.